Hello, my name is Casper. I work for opportunity.to. So who am I? I'm a person who's been working on helping people find a job for about 3 years. So my business partner and I, Martin, we've been working really hard to help people who are not necessarily the most desirable candidates, but who have qualities that make them a good employee or who are competent at their jobs find work. So there's a lot of things that have been tied to our basic service, which is our app. It's a jobs board in a non-traditional manner. It has, I don't know how many jobs have been already posted to our system. I think over 100 million jobs have gone through our app. I've stopped counting. So people are looking for jobs, and they've been using our service. And so I've been able to pick up on what actually gets people hired. And one of those things is actually engagement with the app, and this ties back to, in fact, why I'm making this presentation here today. So the title is The Compensation Assumption and Publish Bot. So what does that mean? Okay? It means you suck. It means you are not engaged enough to help improve your actual income. You're not interested in finding work. You're not interested in making more money. You may say you are, but your actions are not connecting with reality. And we've seen the engagement numbers in our own app, and they might look depressingly low in comparison to other apps such as social or games, but in comparison to other job apps, for example, ZipRecruiter, our numbers are typical of the industry. In fact, we might even be better than LinkedIn, because the average user on LinkedIn spends 5 minutes a year updating their profile. Individuals who are using LinkedIn are using it as a sales platform. They're posting, but they're not actually engaging with their own profile to get it improved. And just because you are on LinkedIn doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be sought out, especially if you are an individual who does not have the particular skills that are in demand for the market, or to which you have actually updated in your profile. This is a problem. So, you suck, you are not interested in finding work and making more money, regardless of whom you are. And I have authority to speak about this subject simply because I've spent a lot of time researching, experiencing with our own data, how users engage with the application and that of our competitors. And relatively speaking, it is not a very good metric to gauge, it's a good metric to gauge the actual value of a company, such as ours, but we are typical to the industry. So user engagement is very low. Why? And there is a number of reasons. And that's why I would like to do engagement on behalf of the user. This is flipping the whole paradigm on what actually will get people involved in the actual job search service. And it is, I would say, the evolution of what job search should be. because job search for online has not changed since monster.com has been a website. And that's been very, very long time. So be honest with yourself. Are you really doing your best to find a job with an appropriate amount of compensation to your skills? The answer is no. Money is a problem. And in fact, it's a problem that needs to be solved for most people. We're talking, if you're not part of the 1%, and the 1% now for the United States, I think the income is $300,000 US dollars. Ouch. $300,000 US dollars. Most people are not even working their way up to $100,000. $100,000 is not what it used to be. And $100,000 does not go the same distance as it used to. So think about this. Are you really spending a lot of time on improving your profile? You're not. In fact, I could give this challenge to anyone in the world, including that of very successful individuals that are engaged online and do it as a business. They're focused on the actual product that they may be promoting, but as their unique profile, the answer is no. So they're operating their profiles as business, but they're operating their social engagement as a business, but as for their unique profile, they are not doing a great job of actually marketing it. And it's very rare that people do. So through research and discovery of the actual market on the software side, we have a good view of how job seekers actually interact with job search type jobs. Okay, so it's funny how I've worded that. It doesn't make sense toward the end, but nonetheless, I hope you catch my drift. So, job seekers, okay, they are not engaging job apps with the amount of time that you would expect for a person who actually needs to seek a job. Okay? Of the people who are the most devoted to seeking a job, they on average spend 30 minutes per day. And that's not necessarily in a single app. That means the entirety. It means spend 5 minutes on the website or application, and the remaining time to maybe reading emails that are related to job seeking, or actually replying to an email. There's 5 minutes of engagement with monster.com, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, opportunity.to, right? That's our application. So, what are the consequences of this? There's not enough work being rendered for there to be any significant impact on people's how shall I say, livelihood. Okay? It's not enough. So even the people who might not be officially indexed on LinkedIn will be able to determine their compensation to help the greater market to find their value. So a lot of people have worked really hard to make their lives private, and though they have been published online in other articles, they may have professional documents written, and they have names. So these names are in the public domain, and they're accessible by anyone. Though, how do we know that this person is in what career or what job? But based on what is being published online, we can assume their competency, okay? And we will be improving that system over time. So the fascinating point is, people who render work of a certain competency, which is published, we can then thereafter value it. And there are other startups that are getting into this space. But what they fail to realize is they will not be able to drive engagement. Those go-getters that are actually going to post those things online on their systems and their services, they will be go-getters. But those who are of the same competency, who are not sharing, who are private, may not necessarily do so. This is necessary as the refusal, omission, procrastination, fear, and disinterest to seek more opportunities is the failure of a large quantity of people to improve their financial situation. Okay? So let's repeat that. Refusal, omission. So omission means I wanted to, but I failed to act. Procrastination, fear, and disinterest to seek more opportunities is the failure of a large amount of people to improve their financial situation. And we know that to be true. Everyone has a certain skill and a certain competency based on who they are as an individual. And for that very reason, it's imperative that we improve the lives of these people, because there's a lot of things that might be holding them back. They might have confidence issues. They may not believe that their value is actually has value to the market. There might be other things. They may find themselves might find themselves comfortable, and they don't believe that there is anything else out there for them. There's so many reasons why people choose not to seek greener pastures. The greener pastures are greener for a reason. They're greener. You know, a lot of it's very fascinating for those people who have become relatively wealthy. You'll find them in these roles of trying to educate and share their experiences with others, because I'm trying to imagine how they feel, but they want to share what they've learned and what it takes. And you know, all these self-help gurus and self-development, self-improvement, you know. A lot of people who are actually in that segment actually do believe that people have this potential, and because that market is so in demand, I think it's growing something like 20% per year. People do want to improve, but in some ways they may not even know how. And it's very sad. It's very sad. Let's continue. So all the information necessary for this kind of indexing is already in the public domain and easily accessible. So people are out there, they have a certain knowledge base, they have certain competencies and things that they can offer to the market, but they may not necessarily know where to go. And so this consolidation, aggregation, and indexing in an organized format will allow for people to further be exposed in a positive manner, so that people can consider them as candidates for certain jobs, contracts, or even consulting, or more or less that covers it, employment generally. So, can you take care of yourself anymore? You know, they've been finding that the average person, the what has seemed to be the simplification of tasks in the daily work habits have actually increased the amount of production out of people, because now we have a computer in our pocket. We can be working at all times. We no longer need to proofread. There's spell checkers. We no longer need to sketch or draw official drawings, because now we can print them and edit them quickly. We no longer need to wait for documents to be sent over periods of time. The amount of productivity and the work that's rendered out of a single employee has increased astronomically, but that has made the availability of this has made the amount of work that can be rendered out of a single individual, I don't know how to say, 20-fold. And for that very reason, people have lost focus. Because why? If you're a professional, there's so much demand of you because of the market demand. And so that's the end of the presentation. So what I'd like to conclude with is, this is coming, and when it comes, and it comes to you, we welcome you to use this service. It might come under a different domain name, opportunity.to, but if you have any questions, or if you'd like to have a link or a URL to this future product that we'll be offering, it may even be posted on lasthr.com. We cordially invite you to use it, and I hope that you will be up very soon. So of course, I'd like to thank you for your time, and most importantly, please engage with our application. You can go check out the web app at opportunity.to, or you can find us on the App Store as opportunity.to job search. Okay? That being said, thank you very much, and